Lucky Luke. I had a comment from Lucky Luke that I was going to talk about today. Let's do that right now. He's in the chat. I think that he's here because I told him I was going to talk about this question today that he had, or not really a question, but a comment. So let's check this out. This is from Lucky Luke. You got lucky today, Luke. You're getting your question featured here. All right. So this is the comment from Lucky Luke 1232. And he says, "You are what they refer to as the useful idiots. Cryptocurrency is the biggest psyop in human history. They knew that people would eventually fear inflation and abandon fiat money, so they created an alternative that would help absorb the capital flight but do nothing to harm the system. That something is crypto. Remember their motto, you'll own nothing and you will be happy. Every immaterial fiat dollar you exchange for immaterial crypto is wasted ammunition you could have used to fight the banking cartel. They don't want you to own gold, silver, oil, farmland, etc. They want you to own nothing, crypto and NFTs, and live in the metaverse. You are literally further engulfing yourself in the matrix." Savage comment, but not really. This is kind of everybody. There's a lot of people who think this, but what you have to understand here with, first of all, nobody's talking about crypto here. Nobody's talking about NFTs here. We're talking about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was literally designed to separate money from state. So you said that every fiat dollar you exchange for crypto is wasted ammunition you could have used to fight the banking cartel. If you understand Bitcoin, forget crypto, forget NFTs, but if you understand Bitcoin, you realize that nobody has control of Bitcoin. It takes nobody can just create more Bitcoin. That's where all the power comes from in the banking cartel. They have the ability to not only create money, but they charge banks, corporations, people interest on the money that they create out of thin air. That's the problem. That's the banking cartel. And if you understand that with Bitcoin, you have no ability to create new Bitcoin. There's a fixed capped supply, which is the code within Bitcoin, which is open source. Anybody can look at. Many people have looked at. And every 10 minutes, a new block is created using that algorithm, that code. And so if we wanted to change that, all the people running a node, this is why it's so important to run the node. Those are the votes in the network. It's not how much Bitcoin BlackRock has. It's not how much Bitcoin the government of China has or Putin has. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many Bitcoin they have. It's all about the nodes. And that's who decides on where, if we follow this code or do we fork it and go somewhere else. So your argument, I mean, I understand the crypto aspect of this. Crypto is bullshit. NFTs are a complete scam. Will they have use later on? Yes, but they're not going to be like something that we trade and speculate on. They'll actually have use for going to a concert or getting access to a digital video, whatever it is. NFTs are useful, the actual technology itself, but not what people are using it for today. But with Bitcoin, it's completely different than that. And they said, remember the motto, you'll own, or their motto, you'll own nothing and you will be happy. Bitcoin is the only asset that you can truly own. The only asset. Second part there, I would say, is gold. Okay, think about land. You used land, gold, silver, and oil. Okay, so farmland. Nobody owns farmland. If you stop paying your property taxes, do you own it? Or could somebody come and take it from you? So that's farmland. Think about gold. If they wanted to come and seize your gold, this happened not that long ago, less than 100 years ago. If they want your gold, they could come to your house and take your gold. With Bitcoin, same with silver. With Bitcoin, if you have 12 words and you memorize those 12 words and it's not written down, it's never been on a computer, if you do it properly and you have those 12 words stored in your head, that's the only asset that you can truly own. The only asset. And you might think because you can't hold it, that doesn't mean anything. Well, if you have access to that Bitcoin, if you have the keys to unlock that Bitcoin, you can sell it, you can trade it, you can exchange it with anybody in the world, a global marketplace with global liquidity. and you can exchange that for products and services. So even though you can't hold it, you can obtain things with it, which is what money is meant to be used for, right? So this whole thing is a complete, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to shit on Lucky Luke here. There's a lot of people who think this, but they just haven't taken the time or the energy to truly understand Bitcoin and understand that there's no way that a bad actor would have created Bitcoin, because it does not benefit them at all. Bitcoin was designed, literally designed to separate money from state. That's the whole goal here, is that no one is in control at the top. We have the say. The people running the nodes have the say in what code is used and what algorithm we use going forward. And that's what decides the fixed amount. That's what decides the new issuance schedule, the mining schedule. So is Lucky Luke still here? No, that's too bad. That's okay. I'll tag him in it after. So what I would say there is your comments, your concerns are very valid. I've run through this scenario thousands of times in my head. Thousands. Because Bitcoiners are very paranoid. They always assume that the worst with everything, which is good. But at the same time, you have to understand that within every organization, within every entity on Earth, is just a bunch of people. So yes, the government for the most part is bad, but there are really good people within the government. Yes, the FBI is bad, but there are good people who work at the FBI. You have to understand that. So wherever Bitcoin came from, whoever gave it to the world, there are good people within every organization. And I think that the one thing I would really want to shift on this channel is actually to believe in good. And don't always assume that everybody's out to get you. Don't assume that everything's bad. Everything, like, we don't need the doomsday stuff here. Let's focus on what we have, build with that, and make our own lives in the future better using those tools that we have. That's the one thing that I really want to get out of this channel is just start believing in people. Start believing that good things can happen and will happen. Muslim Bitcoiner says, nobody here's got NFTs, and what the heck is a metaverse? Exactly. We're not talking about any of that shit. That's not the point of this. It's not the point of Bitcoin. It's not the point of this channel. It's not what gets me out of bed, is trying to sell fucking NFTs to people. All right. Well, I'm sorry I can't get through all the questions today, but how can I do this? Because there are some good things in here, and I got a hair in my eye now. Why not? Why wouldn't we?